Please help me welcome Jeff Campbell.
Yeah!
Keep it going for Robert Rutherford and everybody. Good people for sure. It's Black History Month. Don't act like y'all knew. Couldn't tell in this motherfucker. Everybody has some deep-ass stories to tell. My shit is, there ain't no real profound lesson to learn. Other than don't do stupid shit.
That's so profound.
I mean, it kind of says it all. So, in Lived, Relived, the way that I interpreted that as a topic was, I keep reliving this this thing where I almost die. And so, it's kind of funny. I mean, you know, dying is not funny. Death is not funny. But damn. You know, I'm beginning to be desensitized to shit. Okay? So this is the top 3 times. There's far more. There's at least 7. I stopped counting after 7. But I'm going to tell the 3 stories, the top 3. Like the most, like, crucial. Like, in that order, too, the top 3. And just as a side note, I'd like to tell, like, the most recent one real quick. I'll be quick about it. It was nothing. It was no big deal. It was just 4 police officers with their guns drawn to me, mistaken identity for sports authority or robbery. Somebody stole a Peyton Manning jersey and some soccer shoes. And 4 cops had their guns on me because it was a black guy with a hoodie, but it wasn't me.
Right.
And they came running out and said, yeah, that's him. And then everybody pulled their guns out and they're like, no, wait, I think he's taller than that. And then they ran off. So that was like the most recent. But that doesn't hold a candle to these top 3.
Yeah.
You know, that one was kind of fun, you know, in comparison. So number 1, I'm, I would say 3, then 2, then 1. That's how I'm gonna do this. So number 3, if you will. I'm 21 years old. I live in Sacramento, California. And I got a job at 7-Eleven. Behind the counter. And I got the outfit on. And, you know, I'm working back behind the 7-Eleven. I'm taking it serious. I'm out there, I'm on my own, out in Sacramento, going to junior college out there, you know, really feeling good about myself, pulling it together. And I'm working at 7-Eleven, and these guys come in and they try to buy alcohol, but they don't have their ID. I don't serve it to them. Why? Because I'm taking this job serious, because, man, I gotta pay for my apartment. Don't play with me. We got cameras in here. My boss will fire me if I'm selling alcohol to people without their ID, so just go. About 20 minutes later, there's a guy, a big guy, he's about 6'4", and he's walking through the 7-Eleven. He says, you got any Diet Coke on sale? I heard you got the Diet Coke on sale. I said, yeah, it's right over in the aisle. He reaches over to pick up the Diet Coke, and as he comes to stand in front of the cash register where I'm standing, he's about 6'4", he's about 230. I'm 5'7", 140 pounds, soaking wet, holding a break. Okay? So, right as he's holding these 2-liter bottles of Diet Coke, a 9mm bullet hits him in the square between his shoulder blades. The 2 Diet Cokes fly up in the air, and he drapes over the cash register. And I fall to the ground, like this, and I grabbed the phone. Thank God we didn't have cell phones. The phone had a cord, so I wrestled it down like that. And then I dialed 911 and I said, somebody's shooting. This is where I'm at. Come get me. Then I got up, I grabbed this fool, and I dragged him around to the back, and I went to the freezer, and I got some ice cream, and I put it on his back. It was about 30 minutes later, because the ice cream was now all over his back. And the cops showed up, the ambulance showed up, they took him to the hospital. He lived. The cop said to me, I said, you know, this is crazy. You know, what should I do? They said, get another job. So I was like, yeah, you know, any other options? You know, so at that moment, you know, I went back to work. I felt good, like I had done something, you know, important. You know, I felt like I saved a life. And I told my mother the story, and I told her I didn't want to die over something stupid. I wanted to die saving somebody's life. You know what I'm saying? And so, it was about a couple weeks later, my cash register came up short, and I got fired. And, you know, I mean, I felt like I'd really put my life on the line for 7-Eleven, and they just turned their back on me for like $4 fucking, you know? Jesus Christ, all right? You know, it's a lot to pay attention to. Fucking place. So number 2. Okay? It's around 2003. I'm living in Denver, Colorado. Okay? Matter of fact, I was on my way to this very building. It was around 7, 8 o'clock at night. I was on my way to this very building in January 2004. And only this building was called, it was Watercourse back then. Okay? And they had Bass pasta, and I was on my way to get some Bass pasta, which ain't on the menu now. That's a whole other subject. I'll keep going.
I can give you the recipe.
We'll deal with that. We'll deal with that in a minute. So I was on my way to Watercourse to meet my friend Jason, who came up from Boulder. We were gonna have dinner together. Just the morning before, the day before, I was down protesting Mayor Hickenlooper and the cops because they had just shot Paul Childs, and I was in the Denver Post with my picture talking about fire killer cops with my man Sharif Alim. And so I had this snapshot of me, so I think I'm a rock star because I'm looking at myself in the, right? And so I'm walking across the street, I'm crossing Welton, I'm crossing Park Avenue on Welton, okay? Because that's where I live on 5 Points. And Park Avenue is going this way, okay? Welton is going this way. I'm crossing the street, okay? The cop, there's a police officer who's got somebody pulled over here on the opposite side of the street. Now on this side of the street, cars go this way. On this side of the street, cars go this way. I'm looking in this direction towards the police officer, right? Everybody with me so far? Yeah. This is when it gets, oh shit. All right? So in my mind, I'm like, I'm a rock star. That police officer's probably gonna see me because I was in the paper protesting police officers. So I better get across this street really quick before that cop sees me. Right? So I wait till these cars go by. It's a logical thing to do. But as I'm tippy-toeing out into the street, looking at the cop, I don't notice the Saturn headed in my direction. Oh, I left out a detail. I was in all black and it was a snowstorm. Don't ask me why. I'm black. I'm black. You know, I'm leading up to Black History Month, and I was black. I was super black. I was in my all black on black. I have black socks on. Okay. At any rate, the second I see this gold Saturn, by the time I see him, I swear to you, he's like 4 feet from me. The only thing I could think to do was jump, and that's what I did. And I was like, you know, in my mind, you just turn into Neo, and you say, I can clear it. You know? I can clear it, you know? So my toe hits the bumper. My toe hits the bumper, and I flip up the car, okay? And I'm rolling up the car, and it's going 40 miles this way, 40 miles per hour this way, and I'm rolling up the car. So as I roll up into the car, and it pulls me forward. So I roll, and I see sky, earth, sky, earth, sky, and then I'm sliding on my back with my feet like this. And I'm sliding. And then I roll over and turn around, and there's a truck coming towards me. So I jump up, and I take a step, and I notice my foot is you know, I could tell that my leg was broken because I did this assessment like RoboCop, like broken leg, broken leg, broken leg. So that was going on right here. And so I limped out of the street, and I rolled over onto my back on the sidewalk. And the cop walks up and goes, dude, you caught some serious air. I said, my leg is broke. He's like, are you on drugs? I said, no, but my leg is broke. He said, who's the president? I said, George Bush and my leg is broke. Could you please call an ambulance? And he's like, okay. He calls the ambulance, go to the ambulance, the doctor says, yeah, your leg's broke, okay? So I get, not a cast. I didn't have any insurance. I didn't get a cast. I got 2 Vicodin and some crutches. Okay, and so as I was leaving the hospital, in walks the police officer with a ticket for jaywalking. I said, haven't I learned my lesson? Holy shit. But I'll tell you, during that time as my leg was healing, I kept seeing people without legs. And I kept seeing people in crutches. And I think I just was more tuned in to who they were. And their struggle. It was just fascinating, and it made me feel so grateful that I came out of that. I actually only broke the fib. I didn't break the fib and the tib. It's like they said, you need to buy a lotto ticket. How the hell did that happen? You know, and the cop recounted this. The cop told me what happened. I was busy flying. I didn't know the hell what happened. You know, but that was number 2. And now, and finally, number 1. I don't know if any of you know, but I was big, huge rap star. I mean, whoa. You know, kind of off, you know, but it was underground. And everybody knows with the underground, you gotta keep it real. So, you know. So I got an offer to do a gig 2007, New Year's Eve. I was living in San Francisco at the time, and it was to drive down to LA and open up for MF Doom for a New Year's Eve gig. And I was like, this is a pretty good gig. I mean, you know, even if it's an opening gig, they don't pay much for opening gigs, but it's a New Year's Eve, so instead of $150, I got $300, because that's what they pay rap stars. Okay. So we drove down, I didn't have a car back then because I was keeping it real, okay? And so my roommate was a DJ, and so I hooked him up with a partial gig too. So we were driving down to to LA. We went down to LA and we met with the promoter. The promoter was like one of those, yeah, right on, dude. Fucking A, man, bro. It's gonna be fucking awesome, man. Get you your fucking money, man, but first here, man, here you go. And he gives me a bag of weed. And I was like, cool. So I took the bag of weed, put it in my back pocket, and waited around the show. People started to show up. Next thing you know, oh, you're not playing in this room, not in the main room, you're playing in this other room that nobody even came into. That was lots of fun. And then after that, the party's over, so I'm looking for the promoter and my $300. And promoter's nowhere to be found. So I was told, oh, the promoter's at this other party in downtown West Hollywood somewhere. So we drive and trying to find this club. We're not from LA, we don't know where we're going. So we finally get to this club, we knock it on, we try to get in, it's like VIP only, can't get in, you know. They do, you know, if you've been to the LA clubs where they look you up and down, like you're from Colorado. Okay, $50.
Yeah.
$50. You, 100. Ladies, come on. Come on. Yeah, $50. Yeah. 100. Why is it 50 for him and 100? Because I know you can't afford it. I mean, that's, if anybody's been to LA clubs, they know that that's how LA clubs roll. But anyway, so that was the treatment we got. We decided to drive back to San Francisco at 4 o'clock in the morning after being up all day. This was part of the thing that I said about don't do stupid shit anymore. This is a part of that. So got in the car, filled up the last bit of money we had, tank of gas, got about to Magic Mountain, if anybody knows where that is, Highway 5, and I'm driving, and and I'm noticing that the highway is, suddenly it's like, am I missing something? And I'm like, you know, I think I should pull over and get some coffee. And that was the last thought I remember having before hitting the guardrail and going hip first over a 70-foot ravine. Once, twice, landing on the tires, right next to a 15-foot huge boulder that if we had landed on top of that would have smashed the car and we would have, you know, been crushed. But landed next to it. Go figure. And then, I remember landing, looking at my roommate. He's so drunk, his ass is still asleep. Okay? So, I wake him up. I say, shit, I fucked your car up. The good thing about hippie friends, he said, Jeff,
Namaste.
let's just get through this. I was like, damn. Whew, I'm glad I was with my hippie friends again. I got some friends that they wouldn't have dealt with it like that. But at that point, Fight for Life came. There's not a scratch on us. People are coming running down the ravine. There's not a scratch on us. It's a Toyota 4Runner we were driving in case anybody wants a safe car to drive over a 70-foot ravine. You're gonna be okay. Just wear your seatbelt in a 4Runner, apparently. So, after we landed, the California Highway Patrol shows up. And, you know, we go up to the patrol car, pats us down, we sit in the patrol car. I'm thinking to myself, oh shit, my license is expired. I'm like, dude, this guy, talk about, I got a lot of stupid shit I gotta deal with. But anyway, so I was like, damn, I think my license is expired. They said, your license is valid. Because I didn't even have it on me. So, yeah, I know, we'll deal with that later. He's like, just look at me pull it together. So at any rate, my license is valid. And then sitting in the car, I realized, shit, I got a bag of weed in And then I was like, oh, I forgot something down at the car. Do you mind if I go get it? And he was like, sure. So I went back down, went and got my backpack. My backpack was in the car. Went and got the backpack, came back, and the cop said, well, now that you have items, I must search those items. And I was like, ooh, okay. And I had put the weed in the backpack. So I was like, it was just in a little pocket. So I was like, okay, well here, and without him noticing, I grabbed the weed like this and I slid it into my jacket and I had it in my backpack. And then he goes, and since you were gone, I now have to pat you down again. So now the weed is right here. And I'm like, cool. And I take the backpack back and I just put it back and I slide it down on the ground like there and I go ahead. And he searches me and goes, okay, come on. So I go back and I get in and I sit down in the thing and they take us to the hotel room. They drop us off at the hotel room. My mom wires me, Western Union wires me some money to get back home. I get back home. I know, shit, Jeff. Damn, you're an adult. You don't need your mom. What? Your mom, that's her money. I know. So anyway, a week later, the insurance calls. My roommate hands it to me, the phone to me, and I say, well, I lost control of the vehicle. What can I say? They said, okay, thank you. 2 weeks after that, my roommate gets a check for $20,000 for his truck, and he buys a custom motorcycle. So, that was number one. So, I say all of this to say is that every single time I got into that situation, I always said to myself, you know, I don't want to, I thought of my mother's face and like, damn, I don't want to die like this. Not over some stupid shit. Not over looking both ways before you cross the street. You know, fuck. Falling asleep in the goddamn car, take a nap, pull over. So, I just hope that person that, I'm out there to save their life, I hope that you're, eating healthy. And, reading the Bible. Doing something, maybe volunteering downtown at the shelter or something like that. So thank you all for your time. Thank you, narrators. Peace. My name is Jeff Campbell.